Welcome to another video production from Slater Dozier Railroad Media. In this video, we see action on the BNSF Birmingham Subdivision in late 2023 and early 2024. We begin this video with yard action in BNSF's East Thomas Yard in Birmingham, Alabama, which is the southeasternmost point of the BNSF rail network. On the morning of September 9th, 2023, SD40-2 BNSF 1628, which would be the sole power for what I believe to be YBIR 103, would pull forward and shove a few autorack cars back into East Thomas Yard. About an hour later, the head-end power for BNSF HMEM-BIR would pull to the south end of the yard and make several moves to yard their train in East Thomas. The way this ID is translated begins with the first letter, H, which indicates that this train is a high-priority manifest. The next three letters, MEM, show that this train originated in Memphis, Tennessee in BNSF's Tennessee yard. The final three letters, BIR, indicate that this train terminates in Birmingham, Alabama in East Thomas Yard. Usually, a number follows the last three letters indicating the priority of the train on a scale of 1 to 9, with 1 being the lowest priority and 9 being the highest. The ID is concluded by 2 digits representing the date on which this train originated. Since I don't have definite information on train priority and dates, only the train type, origin, and destination will be included in the train IDs found in this video. Minutes after the member shoved back, northbound intermodal train BNSF Q-ATGLAC would enter East Thomas Yard. This guaranteed service intermodal train, indicated by the Q, makes the trip from Atlanta to Birmingham over CSX rails, and a CSX crew would be aboard to interchange the train, which had a whopping 7 engines leading, to BNSF so the ATGLAC could continue its journey to Los Angeles, California. I would attempt to explore the area around the yard and would find what I suspect to be BNSF YBIR 102 working the north end of East Thomas Yard. This yard job would be led by BNSF 174, a former Santa Fe GP40, and BNSF 2529, which is a GP39-3 that was rebuilt from a GP30 body. My next outing on the BNSF Birmingham sub would be on September 29th, 2023. The day would get off to an interesting start when I spotted Burlington Northern Crane BN 975314 as I was coming into Jasper, Alabama. The Birmingham sub is known to be a hit-or-miss line, and while the morning would get off to an interesting start, my first train of the day wouldn't come until 1:45 p.m. in Winfield, Alabama. Loaded coal train BNSF CNAM PAM would roll through Winfield with a 2x3 lash-up which included 2 executive SD70 Max. BNSF 9581 would be the second engine in the lash-up, and BNSF 9828 would be the rear DPU facing out. BNSF Q-ATGLAC would come through Winfield an hour and 15 minutes later with a 6-engine lash-up leading the California-bound Intermodal train. Moving south to Carbon Hill, Alabama, I would catch empty unit oil tanker UBIRCSN rolling north with BNSF 7050 leading H1-9 BNSF 963. A friendly crew would also be in the cab of the 7050. Upon hearing that a northbound empty coal was about to leave Plant Miller, I intended to catch the empty leaving the yard in Quinton, Alabama. I would arrive as the train was departing Quinton, so I waited in Cordova, Alabama for the EPAM ATM to roll into view at last light. A week later, I would find myself at the south end of East Thomas Yard for BNSF YBAR 102, which had BNSF 3019, a GP40M still wearing the Burlington Northern Whiteface paint scheme, second on the yard job. A couple of months would pass before I would return to the Birmingham sub on December 2nd, 2023. I would once again return to Winfield, Alabama to see what would run first, and I would realize I chose the right spot upon hearing that the dispatcher had set up a meet for 2 coal trains in Winfield. Northbound empty coal BNSF EPAM BAM would have an assortment of brand new ET44 ACHs and ES44 ACHs in a 2x2 lash-up. Since BNSF purchased these new engines, EMD power has become less common on the Miller coal trains, and has also resulted in most SD70 MAC power being stored. The empty coal would not be stopped for long in the siding before loaded coal train BNSF CNAM PAM would roll around the curve with an H2 AC4400 CW, leading a 2x3 lash-up including H2 SD70 MAC BNSF 9938 on the rear of the train. Since the rain was picking up, I would wait in Carbon Hill, Alabama for a couple of hours for empty maintenance of way train BNSF U SWR with BNSF 7042 leading H2 SD70 Mac BNSF 8823. I would continue to wait in Carbon Hill for a train that was worth getting out on a cold and rainy winter day for. BNSF Q-ATGLAC would have a really good leader in the form of H1-9 BNSF 1119. Although I have documented several H1-9s trailing, this would be my first catch of one leading, and the not-so-common RS3L horn would add to the significance of this catch as well. The Q-ATGLAC would meet Counterpart train Q-LAC-ATG just north of Carbon Hill in the siding at Eldridge. Like the ATGLAC, the LAC-ATG would have Norfolk Southern power trailing in the lash-up. It would be January 21st, 2024 before I would revisit the Birmingham sub again, and I would catch two trains in Jasper that day, the first being BNSF Q-LAC-ATG with SD70ACE BNSF 8525 trailing third. Once the southbound Intermodal passed through Jasper, I would move a few crossings south just in time to catch the Jasper local, BNSF LHLA 841, being led by none other than BNSF 3019. This would be my first time seeing a BN engine in the Whiteface paint scheme leading a train since I was a young child. I would return to the Birmingham sub again on March 13th, 2024, and I would catch BNSF Q-ATGLAC rolling down Carbon Hill with H2-9 BNSF 4664 leading the charge.
They're leaving Carbon Hill now. And then be up to Carbon Hill for 3 after that, or I'm sorry, 2 after that.
Upon hearing that there were 3 more trains in the picture, I would set up shop in Carbon Hill for the rest of the evening.
Got one already holding there, formal. Yeah, I'll be load and a locomotive. Alright, thank you. The Birmingham Subdivision.
An hour after the LAC-ATG passed, empty coal BNSF EPAM BTM would take the siding in Carbon Hill to wait on the 2 southbounds. New ET44 ACHs BNSF 3656 and BNSF 3627 would be the head-end power for this train.
BNSF 3656. BNSF 3627.
Loaded coal BNSF C-ATM PAM would roll south through Carbon Hill with SD70 ACE BNSF 8592 leading the way. Not long after the loaded coal passed, BNSF LHLA 840 with BNSF 3019 leading the way would roll through Carbon Hill.
Yeah, slow down. I'm in a hurry. I can't wait on all that money exchange business. I have to get down my bag.
BNSF 3019, BNSF 2939.
The PAM-BTM would then depart Carbon Hill with BT44ACH, BNSF 3672, and SD70ACE, BNSF 9056 bringing up the rear, and I would call it a night once the coal train cleared.
BNSF 3282, BNSF 9056.
Thank you for watching another video production from Slater Dozier Railroad Media. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see more content like this.